Well, welcome to another video. I don't know what this one's about. Most creators eventually hit burnout, and for me, I generally need some time out once a month to maintain my mental health and to recover from regular treatments for multiple sclerosis, one of which is a few days away. And I haven't had that for about 6 months. Every time I've tried, either somebody else has had a drama I've had to help with, or some sort of emergencies happened, or just generally the ongoing onslaught that is the maintaining my health and my medical condition. So, taking some time out, we're going to go for a bit of a walk, and I'll chronicle some of the stuff that's going on, and we might talk about mental health. Now, it's not often that I take time out, and I don't really take all the good cameras or anything else like that. But didn't really have a choice. I was at my wit's end, and I just got in the vehicle and left. People sort of know roughly what I'm doing, and there's a sat tracker on the vehicle. They'll figure out where I'm at when they need to. But I definitely needed to get out. And I'm going to a spot that has been... I've been coming here for a long time, but I haven't been here for quite some time. And it's a spot. I haven't brought the 8-wheeler. I haven't brought anything amazing. I just need to stop. And being autistic, high functioning autistic, as well as having multiple sclerosis, and also having had some I guess we could call it traumatic times in the past, I have some side effects of that too. So there's a lot going on, and sometimes you've got to look after yourself. And I've been to see one of my channel supporters. Actually, he goes by Fat Ninja. On the way here, he was having much the same sort of a troubled time, and just stopping by to say hello can be sometimes all you got to do. But the other thing, and it's something I've had a talk with quite a few people about, people get stuck in this mindset of helping others to their own detriment, and it can be really difficult if you've been conditioned to help others and be selfless and put your own needs behind everybody else. It can seem like the wrong thing to do, to stop and take time to look after yourself, but it's actually not. If you don't, you run the risk of basically being unable to help everybody else. So you do definitely need to keep that in mind. Now, this is a point where I do need to pay a little attention to where I'm walking. This area was I think they basically sluiced for gold through here in an industrial scale, and they dug out this this whole area up here. And further up here, there's some of the old Lowhead Dam they had there for the help of the sluicing. And there's some other bits and pieces. There's quite some sandy areas here. The result is there's lots of rocks here that don't have much sand in them, and some very clean water. I did several years ago at one point come across a pool of mercury in a little well at the bottom of this, so I'm going to guess they were using mercury wetted plates to amalgamate the gold. It's a technique they use in some of the poorer countries and makes people quite sick. Ironically, negatively impacts mental health, which is what I think I've decided I'm going to do with this video. Now, with multiple sclerosis, heat does knock me around a little bit. I get problems like ranging from numb hands to the inability to walk, through to psychological problems and functioning issues, as I have lesions in my brain and the C6 vertebrae in my back, which is like the base of my neck. So in the cooler weather, however, I have a great time, and I'm very tempted to go swimming in this. It's about 10 degrees Celsius at the moment, and this water looks really wonderful. I'd love to go swimming. The cold would not bother me. I'd actually enjoy it. But also, it's nearing dinner time, and I want to put some food on. Later on, I think I'll go for a walk down that side of the river. There are satin bowerbirds that hang around down there, and they're not too shy, which is uncharacteristic for them. Climb back up these rocks. I would love to show you some underwater footage with the GoPro and the selfie stick here, but I dropped this GoPro some time ago, and while I think I've sealed the crack, can't be 100% sure that it's waterproof. I do have footage from years and years ago. I don't know where it is. When I had my old Sony Xperia, and that was waterproof enough to get underwater footage. but I don't know where that footage is. It might not make it in here. But yes, this trip is going to be about a week long. This is night 1. This would normally have been night 2, but I had a bit of a mental breakdown last night and couldn't do it. So this is why I getting to the point here where I tell you that suppressing these things is actually not normal and will not help your situation. Sometimes you do need to communicate these. It can come in a few forms. But I do understand people end up in situations where communicating these things is socially frowned upon. I've been there. It's worth noting that that's not a healthy environment. If you are living with somebody that is supposed to be a partner or confidant or trusted and close family member, and you can't communicate with them, it's probably not a healthy relationship. I actually need to get exercise, and this is helping. My midriff is not liking my body, or rather my let's stop for a minute. My midriff does not like my lifestyle right now.
Oh, all right then. This crusher is designed to break down the cane's outer shell. It does its job a bit too well because the cane is now grass. The most edible...
By the communist Czechoslovakia, who worked in London. He lived here in Silver Birch Close in Friern Barnet and became the centre of an investigation led by the British intelligence agency MI5, who suspected he was a spy.
Atop the pin is a little glass hat doohickey, and that hat thingamajig is holding on to 4 vanes. The sharp pin and smooth glass create a near frictionless barrier.
Alright, so in the middle of the night, had some campers show up, so I relocated because they're in 2 caravans. And you know, I have kids, I know what my apprentice is like, but these 2 kids have basically done nothing but scream as much as their lungs will function. And they've been using rattle guns, they fired up generators, they've had the lights into high beams in the back. Yeah, it's morning. The sun's already up. I've had breakfast, taken colchicine and ibuprofen because I have gout this morning. A couple of kids down here in the neighbouring caravans, they showed up late at night. You know, I've got kids and they make a lot of noise, but nothing compared to these ones. They just did nothing but scream, run around, just screaming for the hell of it. Then they had the loud music, and they had drinking, partying, moved up this end of the park. I'm tempted to go up there and fire up my generator and charge all my batteries at 7 o'clock in the morning and see how hungover they are. But anyway, I am going to move on. I've got a couple other places I want to be, a couple other mates to see, and see how we go. But I did enjoy good night's sleep. It's 9 degrees tonight, or overnight, and 9 degrees Celsius. I love the cold nights. I have missed them. So I stopped at an RV park that I frequent, and there's usually coin operated hot showers over there. Unfortunately, somebody's messed with the coin receptor, and there's no hot water. So I could have a cold shower, which is not too much of a problem. Although I have a box of baby wipes, I can do that. In the meantime, I have dedicated my time to a modification. I'm going to have to nudge a Daimler Ferret round at a museum tomorrow. So I thought I'd come up with a solution. Stop at a hardware store, got some 4x2s, lashed them to the bull bar with some utility rope that I've got, and that should work. I'll take these off before I drive, of course. Don't need Mr. Plod complaining about that. But yeah, so that is one solution we'll get happening. Not sure what I'm going to do about shower, but I do need to get clean somehow. I do actually have an ablution tent and a shower bag in there I could probably set up. The weather's probably okay for it. I'll see what I can come up with. Alright, so after much effort, I managed to get a shower all the same. I used that companion shower bucket, which is leaking almost as fast as the shower head would let water out. And it's about the third time I've used it, so something's not right with it. Did try and seal it with wax. The upshot is I got wax all down my front, wax all over the front of my car. It's going to be fun. Anyway, that should clean off, I think, with a pressure washer. But yeah, it's almost evening. I'm going to call it a night, and I think I will. I'll go and nudge a ferret in the morning and push it around the museum. Then I might head closer to where I'm going to get my infusion in a couple of days. We'll see how we go from there. Oh, it's 7 AM and a nice red sunrise. Frosty morning, which I like. This little RV park filled up overnight. There's lots of vehicles here this morning. Naturally, I'm the odd one out. And there's the hum of diesel heaters
There was a flock of about 1,000 galahs just flew overhead and all come to roost in the trees. I'm back to bed for a few more minutes. Alright, so it's probably time I stopped the time lapse this morning and gonna make a cup of tea. That's better.
Dropping stuff everywhere here. So I'm going to pull it onto the road, then I'm going to stop camera and stuff. Alright, so that's the end of the day at the museum. Tomorrow we move the ferret here. I'm going to sneak off to a little secret hiding hole that I know 100% will be quiet. Now hopefully I won't have any screaming kids tonight.
Wow, this sunrise just keeps getting better and better. Stunning morning. This is what I needed. Nothing like trying to do a video edit and it decides to update the firmware in the middle of it, the BIOS firmware. Fairly irregular for these things, so maybe they found a vulnerability that they wanted to flash in a real hurry. Hopefully it doesn't screw up all my settings. Alright, so next problem I've got. This vehicle won't fit in that roller door. It's significantly too tall. I'm going to have to go get a different vehicle. So I've got a video render started. I'm going to scoot back home, which is a little bit away, and get a different vehicle.
1 hour later.
Alright, test fitting the barge boards. They're going to go on the front of this just fine. This is actually the stronger bull bar too, which is not too bad of an idea. Was a little concerned about maybe bending the other one, but this should be alright. Now, temp gauge on this has been a bit squirrely. I'm not sure if it's an electrical connection, something in the dash. We're just going to check our coolant first anyway. Just a little quick thing I do is just give that a squeeze and I don't hear any bubbles or gurgling. Reservoir is full on the brakes. Good sign. Let's pop this. Yep, we've got coolant in there. We are good. Okay. Okay, we're back, and this one should fit the hole. That's what she said. Alright, this is the ferret we've got to move. Sorry for the crusty footage, I'm using my old phone and it had some water in the lenses. Anyway, we've got to nudge this guy forwards. We've just started to make some clear space for it so that we can bring something through the door there. Up in here, we are going to get a new link trainer, which is like the blue thing there, but we've got one that actually works. This is the old control desk for it. This is all taped up, but there is some of the control electronics in the bottom here. These are the projector bits that sit on a frame over the top and project aircraft positions on the maps, or simulated aircraft positions. Link trainer is basically an aircraft simulator. I've moved all of that out, so the new link trainer I believe is going in here. This might get stored or moved on to a new owner, I don't know. Either way, my job is nudge this guy forwards with the 6p, and then when we're done moving things in, we're going to winch it back out, which might be another day. In any case, we're going to move the old Triumph and a bunch of other stuff out of there. Alright, we need to measure up here where the safe zone is. Looks between 90 and 100. Go outside and measure that up. Alright, I think I'm going to have to bring the bottom one up. Alright, if all goes well, that should be about the right height to push against. It'll be pushing against the guards around the tail lights on the Ferret, but they're like welded on chunks of steel, so if we push gently, we should be alright. Now, if you ever found yourself up this shit creek in Vietnam without a paddle, we do actually have the paddles from Shit Creek. Okay, now final check. I've got boards that are 120mm wide. They should clearly bridge across these. And from the height, we're going to be, yeah, so we're from about 90 to about 110. So where we'll be pushing will basically be straight against these things. They're not welded on, they're bolted on, but they are suitably sturdy enough to do the job. And the width of the boards should cover that gap there, so I won't be putting all the force on the lights. It should be across these. This bit is welded on, and we should just clear the exhaust manifold. Alright, so I had some kids climbing the other day, so we've got to make sure everything's all in neutral and whatnot, so I'm going to climb in. Alright, so straight away, she's not been left in neutral. Neutral's exactly in the middle here, so put her in neutral. She's a pre-selector, so now we select our gear. That should put her in neutral. Okay, handbrake should be off. Handbrake is off. That should be neutral. Let's just check. Select first. There we go. Oh, so that is cool. That's gone into gear. That's back to neutral here. Okay, that's sitting in neutral. That's good. Alright, we're off. That's off. What do we got here? Yep. That's forward reverse lever. So we'll hook that in the middle. We're in neutral there anyway. Handbrake is off. I think we have some stuck brake pads, but I think we're pretty right. Alright, we've lined up in low range. These should be about right. I think we'll be good. Once we come up that step, we should be about perfect. complete. We can move in some new stuff through the back doorway now. We'll have our new link trainer coming in fairly soon. Alright, nudge complete. Now I've got to take some timber off. Alright, we've got it inside. Just planning ahead for when we have to pull it back. It does have recovery loops on the other side, on both sides. I might bring a sling so we can equalise that. Use a snatch block. Well, this is where we leave you with a little bit of B-roll, and thank you for watching this video. This is pretty typically what happens when I try and take a mental health break. It turns into work. This time it was fairly fun work. So we'll see you in the next video, and yeah, hopefully I can work on my stress levels, and hopefully you can too.